Hi, my name is Carl Ross. Welcome to Web Media Parkway. And today we're going to talk about some of the most commonly flawed designs that are appearing and happening on websites all over the world. And if you have these flaws and issues happening on your website, then guess what? I'm going to provide you with some tips and resources that will allow you to go in yourself and make some changes and some updates to the website so that you can start to see some immediate results and changes, because these flaws can cost you in lost sales, lost business, lost leads, etc., etc. So go grab a paper, go grab a pencil, and let's get ready to take some notes, because again, you will implement these changes yourself. Now, let's go ahead and get started. One of the common flaws that you'll generally see across most websites is the fact that the business owner will tend to talk about themselves too much. And the problem with that is that most folks really don't care about you. They only care about what's in it for them. So right away, you need to be able to communicate what's in it for that individual that just came to your website. So for example, if I'm going through a divorce, and let's say I'm a mother, I'm going through a divorce, and my husband, soon to be ex-husband, have this other woman around the kids, and now they're calling her mommy, then guess what? I'm going to be pretty darn upset. I'm furious. And the last thing I need to do is come to a website where I see this, a photograph of the company, the firm. I need some information right away that tells me that I've landed on the right website, and that you can help me out, that you can defend me, that you can help me get custody of my kids, and that I'm going to be okay if I hire you. And again, this is a common problem across most websites across the board. The business owner is talking about themselves, and you'll recognize them. You'll see these sites where there's a big giant photograph of the business owner, or he or she may show a fleet of trucks in their corporation, and they'll talk about stuff like, we've been in business for the last 25 years. We've won these type of awards. For example, here, they're listing, I guess, attorneys that appeared in a particular magazine within Seattle. Who cares? Nobody cares about that just yet. Now, I'm in no way saying that you can't have this on your website, but there's a certain place for that, and it shouldn't be the first thing that people see when they land on your homepage. Same thing here. This is a reason why attorney Chris Davis has earned numerous awards and honors, and why he is frequently called. Nobody cares about that. All I care about is the pending issue that I have at hand right now. Maybe your child was accused of something, and he's in custody right now, and you need to go down and get him out of jail, and they about to wrap all these charges up on him. You need help, and that's what needs to happen. So talk less about yourself and talk more about how you can help this individual solve their problem. The internet has changed, folks. We have to now make a transition to the point where we're now having to educate our consumer, our prospects. An educated prospect is more likely to buy from you. Think about it. It's like going out on a date. When I meet a girl, I'm not going to get the tongue tonight. I'm not going to be able to kiss her all in the mouth. Ain't happening on the first date. Why? Because she has to learn more about me. So we're going to go on a date. We're going to talk on the phone. We're going to get to know each other a little bit better. And then, so we're creating a foundation. And that's what you have to do. You have to do your marketing. You have to do your advertising. You have to bring these people into your website. And then you have to create that foundation. You have to start courting each other. And you do that by educating the people that are coming to your site. You provide them tips. You provide them resources. You give them information. You educate them. You court them. Then you can get the tongue or some kissing. I'm a little graphic sometimes, but I generally try and keep this stuff clean. And, but again, I'm just trying to have a little fun, folks. But think of it as dating. you can't get the kiss on the first date. Now, every now and again, you might get lucky. There's some lucky sons of guns out there. But in this case, stop talking about yourself and talk more about the benefits to your consumer. Another flaw that you'll generally have on websites is people will have a lack of purpose defined. In other words, when a person comes to your website, what is the number one thing you want to happen when that person comes on your website? You know, obviously most folks going to say, oh, I want them to buy my product. Well, let me tell you something. Over 95, 96, 97%, 98%, 99% of the folks who come to your website today are not going to buy your product and service. Just ain't going to happen. The vast majority of people who come to your site will not buy today. And once they leave your website, guess what? You have no way of getting in contact with them. And I'm going to talk about that in the next flaw, but I'm just trying to lead up to that. But you need to have a clearly defined purpose. What do you want these people to do when they come to your site? Do you want them to call you on the phone? Do you want them to fill out a form? Do you want them to come into the office for a free massage? Whatever that number one goal is, then you need to put everything that's on that page or on that site has to be designed with that one purpose in mind. And let me show you an example. I have this website over here called tshirtriches.com. We sell a t-shirt course where we teach people how to start a t-shirt business, how to, make money selling t-shirts. Now, when you come to my site, I have one definitive purpose that I want to happen, and everything else on the site supports that goal. Number one thing I want them to do, I want them to watch this video. If they don't watch this, then they're going to click on this, which eventually takes them to this over here. So I want them to play this video, and then I want them to, and once they watch that video, what's going to happen? In the vast majority of cases, they're going to put in their name and their email address on this form, and this is going to allow me to follow up with them. That's the number one thing I want to happen. That is the clear, definitive purpose. So when you read some of these other posts and content on my site, it all references them back to signing up and getting on my list. I want them on my list. I'm not interested in selling them anything today because I already know the vast majority are not going to buy. So when you click here, same thing's going to happen. It's going to bring them back here where they can watch this video. Now, if I back up here and come down here to resources, now this is a topic I know they're interested in. Again, I know my audience, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment. They can click this button here, and we're going to educate them on the process about how this machine works. They can learn more about the different machines. And guess what? I have a box for them to sign up and leave their name and email address. I want to follow up with these folks. So that's the number one goal. I want people to opt in or sign up to get on my list for learning more about starting their t-shirt business. So you need to come up with a clear, definitive purpose, and you design your site and your website and your pages around that one purpose so that particular action can happen. Oftentimes you go to a website and you have all this stuff on there and there's no clear, definitive purpose. The customer don't know what to do. They read a page and then what? There's no instructions. You're not telling them to do anything, so they just reading. Then what do you expect them to do? So come up with a definitive purpose, figure that out. And it's going to make a little bit more sense as we continue to go through this short presentation. The next flaw that typically happens is the fact that most people don't capture names and email addresses. And I just showed you that on my website. If you go to the vast majority of websites, you'll see that they don't collect any email addresses. They're not asking for it. You know why? Because they don't understand this process. Your website's purpose is to educate your prospects. It's to bring awareness about the products and the services that you have. And you have to understand that the vast majority of people are not going to buy the same day that they come to the website. They may have intentions of coming back to the site. Maybe the kids are in the background making noise and they have to get off the computer and they say, I'm going to come back. Well, guess what? Most of the time they're not coming back. They bookmark your site with the intentions of coming back. And guess what? They don't make it back. So that's why it's important for you to capture their details. Now, you will have to bribe them. You're going to have to bribe them to get those details from them. And you should. You got to make them an offer they won't refuse. Because I'm going to tell you something, folks. I don't know if you heard this phrase before, but we hear it all the time in our market. The money is in the list. The money is in the list. When they sign up, see, I'm bribing them. I'm straight up bribing them. I'm going to bribe you later on in this video as well. Get my free quick start t-shirt business course. And when they watch this video, I get them all excited. I get them all pumped up. And I'm going to give them these free modules, these free mini course where they can learn more about starting a t-shirt business. That's what I'm bribing them for, to get their name and email address. Once I get them on my list, I'm going to send them some follow-up emails. Guess what? This thing here is an automated marketing machine. Once you put your name and email address in here, guess what? You'll receive an email from me instantly saying, hi, John, hi, Susie, or whatever your name is. It'll address you by name. And whatever I put in that first email, you're going to get. So if I have some videos in that email, you're going to get access to those videos where I can educate you more about our process, our systems, how we work, how you can start a t-shirt bit, all of that. And then guess what? 2 days later or a day later, another email goes out automatically saying, hey, Susie, calling you by name again. 3 days later, you get another email. I can program it to send you another email 5 days later, a week later, 2 weeks later. I can dump a year's worth of emails in this autoresponder system, and it will automatically market to you. So now guess what happens? My site is marketing for me 24/7. So if you come to my site at 3 o'clock in the morning and put your name and email address in here, you're automatically going to receive the very first email in my sequence. My website is designed to sell. If your website is not selling, you're not making any money. And that's what the difference is between us. And now guess what? I have this huge list of prospects. They didn't buy today. I didn't try and sell them. My primary goal is to educate them. And then I can send out a mass email and say, hey, guess what? Hey, I got this course. I want to teach you more advanced strategies, etc., etc. We're selling this course for $379. Hit a button and guess what? 100, 200, 300 sales start coming in. And that's because now they're excited. They're educated. They can make a more informed decision about buying my course because I gave them all the information they needed to make a decision. And I give away my best information. Folks, this is how it works. You have to market. You have to educate your prospects if you want to sell them something. Now, this just doesn't work in the making money niche. We have customers in the home inspection industry where they're selling their home inspection services. We have people in the dental profession selling teeth whitening systems, denture repair kits. This thing works across the board, selling apparel and t-shirts and clothes, jewelry, gift baskets. The process is the same, no matter what career field you're in. Attorneys, we have attorneys that we work with as well. They're educating their prospects. Hey, don't let your kids call that other woman mommy. You know, that's a sore thumb when it comes to women and their children and some other woman. You know, this is all psychology, folks. Your website will sell if you start implementing these strategies. So always capture names and email addresses from prospects that come to your site, because you need to know and understand that the vast majority of people that come into your website today will not buy a doggone thing, and the vast majority of them won't come back to your website. It's your responsibility to get these details from them so that you can get them back to your website on a regular basis. So, and I'll talk about this autoresponder thing in a minute. This thing is awesome. You must capture the names and email addresses, folks. No other way around it. So I'm going to move on from that. Flaw number 4, not being specific in telling visitors what to do. I touched upon that a moment ago. You know, a clear definitive action. You need to tell them exactly what to do. Customers, prospects, and visitors to your website, they don't know what's going on. You have to tell them in simple, easy to understand terms. If you want them to call you, then you better tell them to pick up the phone and call right now. Don't say call. Don't just say call 770-788-86666. No, call 770-866-866 right now to get a free massage, to schedule your free massage, whatever. Be very specific, very clear. If you want them to fill out a form, tell them to leave their name and their email address below. Get instant access to the free course. Leave just your first name and email address below to get immediate access. That's clear as day. Believe it or not, a lot of folks don't do that. If you're trying to sell something, guess what? You have to tell them to buy it. You have to instruct them. You have to guide them. So be very specific about what you want your visitors to do. Tell them in very clear details. Also, another flaw that most website owners have are the lack of statistics and tracking. In other words, there's some software. Much of it is free, although I do recommend paying for some. Lack of statistics and tracking. How many visitors came to your website today? How many visitors came to your website yesterday? What about last week? What about last month? Do you know those numbers? See, a lot of folks don't know their numbers. If you don't know your numbers, then how can you modify your site? How can you make your site better? How long do these people stay on your website? What pages are they looking at most often? What part of the web page are they looking at most or clicking around most? See, when you have all this data, you can start to modify and redesign and set up your site navigation differently based on the patterns that you're seeing happening across your website. And that can only happen if you're looking at the statistics and the stats and the reports. I mean, also, say for instance, if I got 30 sales today, where did those sales come from? If I run an ad at suchandsuch.com or run an ad on a magazine, in the print magazine, do I know whether or not that ad is working? Most folks don't know because they're not tracking. They can't tell whether or not that ad is working. They can't tell if that email campaign is working or the pay-per-click ads campaigns that you have going are on the working. They can't tell whether or not the ad that they're paying to be on somebody else's website, if it's working or not. You have to track, folks. You have to track your statistics. You have to track your ads. You have to track your campaigns. You have to monitor all of that stuff. It makes a difference. Because if I find out that website A is sending me 100 sales a month, then guess what? I can put more money into website A. Website B might only be sending me 2 sales a month, but yet it's costing me $1,000 to run the ad. I'm only getting 2 sales that pay out $80. Doesn't make sense to continue running my ad campaign with site B. But guess what? The vast majority of people are running ads, and some of the ads are working, some of them aren't. They just don't know which ones are and aren't. And so half of their money is just going away. Maybe more than half of the money, because the bulk of their sales could be coming from 20% of the ads that they're running. So if 80% of your sales are coming from the 20% of your ads, I want to know where those 20% are so I can eliminate the other 80%. Save myself some money and dump the rest into that campaign. Track. Know your statistics. Know your tracking. Know where your ads are coming, where your sales are coming from, folks. This is simple. This is what you have to do if you want to be successful online and in your business in general. So it's not just about online, but you need to track everything. So I'm going to get off of that for a minute. Now, another major flaw that businesses tend to have, or websites lack, or owners, people are relying or basing the success of their company around Google. Now, relying on Google, getting ranked in the search engines on the front page or spending all your time doing SEO, That is not a strategy for success. Google changes their algorithm so many times. So many times. And I've seen websites get shut down, businesses go out of business overnight because Google threw them off the front page. Now, if you're one of those people who's spending all of their time on SEO, spending all of your time trying to get on the front page of Google and think Google is everything, man, you're in danger. You are in danger. I don't even think about Google. Although I get a lot of traffic from them, I don't even think about Google. There are so many other sources of traffic that you can get targeted, solid leads from and route these folks to your websites and make all types of sales. Google isn't the only king in town. Isn't the only game in town, man. If you're relying on Google for everything, you're going to hurt yourself sooner than later. Again, I don't consider Google, although we use Google Google pay-per-clicks. We do rank very well on some of our other products and services. Our clients rank well on Google as well. But you got to look at other sources of traffic. There's other sources. For example, you can advertise on other websites. We ran ads on radios quite successfully, I might add. We do postcard marketing campaigns. We do a whole lot of stuff to bring targeted traffic to our websites. So it's not all about SEO or search engines and pay-per-clicks. There are a variety of sources to get targeted traffic from. And I mean very specific, laser sharp targeted traffic. So that's all I'm going to really say today, because I can go on and on and on. But take these notes, the notes that you've written down, start applying some of these changes to your own website, and you will start to see some immediate results. The first thing I would say, definitely go get some stats tracking software. Start tracking your ads, start seeing where your traffic is coming from so you can go get more of it. And the only way you can find that out, of course, is by putting the software on your website so you can track this stuff. Beyond that, I would definitely encourage you to add a lead capture form onto your website so you can start capturing names and email addresses, because the fundamental thing, the most important thing you need to do right away is to start building a list. And again, you're going to have to give up something of value in an effort to bribe these folks to give up the name and email address, just like I'm about to do right now. I'm about to bribe you, so get on my list so I can send you free tips and resources that'll help you sell your products and services much better. Now, I have a lot of stuff, folks. We've been at this for a long time. Our clients are earning millions and millions of dollars each and every year from the internet. And not just from the internet, because we do employ a lot of offline marketing strategies for our clients as well, to bring traffic to their sites, to get their telephone to ring, to bring traffic into their stores. So it's not just about online marketing. That's one thing about our agency that is different with others. We focus on your business as a whole. We understand marketing online and offline, and we implement both into your overall strategy. So scroll down below this video. On this page, you'll see a box where you can leave your first name and your email address, and I will start sending you some valuable information and some valuable stuff that you can do right away to jumpstart the growth of your website. If you're watching this video from another website, visit us online at www.webmediaparkway.com. That's www.webmediaparkway.com. My name is Carl Ross. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.